Wow, what a hire by Oklahoma. They hire Jeff Lebby, the offensive coordinator, formerly from Central Florida, but then from Mississippi with Ole Miss, that helped Lane Kiffin evolve into just a spectacular move by Brent Venables to get Jeff Lebby to come back to Oklahoma. Jeff Lebby played offensive line at Oklahoma, I believe, in the early 2000s. Very, very interesting background. Was at Baylor with Art Briles, who, of course, is a brilliant play caller. His son, Kendall, doing a fantastic job. Was with Lane Kiffin at FAU, and that's really how the referral happened, because then Kendall went with Sam Pittman and, of course, Lane Kiffin. So the point is, Jeff Lebby married Art Briles' daughter, so brother-in-law to Kendall Briles and the son-in-law of Art Briles. And now he goes back to Oklahoma, to the Plains, and he must love living in Oklahoma. It's very interesting from Jeff Lebby's perspective because he had Matt Corral. He has a really good offensive mind in Lane Kiffin, and they just won 10 games at Ole Miss, and they have Ole Miss trending in an incredible direction. Makes you wonder, why would Jeff Lebby leave? Maybe more money at Oklahoma, sure. Actually, it is money because it's, more money than at Ole Miss. But for Lane Kiffin to not have this up-tempo kind of guru that Kendall and Jeff Lebby present, this is a huge hit to Ole Miss. Now, you wonder if Lane Kiffin's going to go out and look at an air raid style like maybe Steve Spurrier Jr., but probably Graham Harrell, who's available. Going to be interesting to see where Lane Kiffin goes to replace Jeff Lebby of Ole Miss. And I guess with Jeff Lebby, he was always the associate offensive coordinator. It seemed like he was enjoying being around Lane Kiffin. But the ability for Brent Venables to get him away from Oxford and for this to happen so quickly is pretty fascinating stuff. Maybe there is not as much continuity at Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin. It makes you wonder about the relationship of Lebby and Kiffin. But for Oklahoma, this is tremendous. I mean, for Caleb Williams, for all of the guys going to Oklahoma, you're going to be playing in an up-tempo offense, one that can run the football and one that has great success. I mean, Dylan Gabriel, Matt Corral, Jeff Lebby helped these guys go to a new level, specifically Matt Corral, where he was battling with John Rice Plumlee before, when it was Matt Luke that was there. But I love this hire from Oklahoma. This is going to be such an exciting brand of football. You're going to have an attacking offense, an up-tempo offense, then with defense. This is going to be ridiculously exciting for the Oklahoma Sooners. There's really nothing to complain about Jeff Lebby. I mean, maybe he goes too fast. But again, I think he can run it. I think he calls passing concepts. It's up-tempo. Now, does he have the brilliance of Lane and all of the little pro-style stuff that Lane adds in? Because Lane is trying to mix pro-style with up-tempo to create a beautiful running scheme and a beautiful passing game scheme. It's going to be really interesting to see what Ole Miss does. But again, for Lebby to kind of get his own show, because guess what? When he was at UCF, guess whose show it kind of was? It was Josh Heupel's show. And when Lebby was at Baylor, of course, it was the Briles' show. And then at Ole Miss, it was Lane's show. But now Jeff Lebby, I mean, he's making $2 million. If they win big, he could even get paid more to be pretty much leading the offense at Oklahoma. To really see him in a spotlight, really have that entire side of the ball. It's going to be his offense. It's going to be his plays. He gets that individual aspect. He's stepping out and making a big-time move with Oklahoma in a time of transition where they're looking to go to the SEC. of course, with a guy like Lebby, right, it's like he's probably garnered interest from some schools to hire. Now, maybe some are worried about, his involvement with the Briles scandal in Baylor, with the Baylor cases of, there were cases back in 2016. That's why Briles got fired. Of Baylor players and women on campus, female students on campus, and taking advantage of them and that sort of thing. So he was involved in that. All right. Anytime that you're mentioned with the Briles, some people are going to automatically not give you an opportunity because of a PR and things of that nature. I like him from an offensive perspective. I think I've seen him interviewed. I think he's a pretty good guy. Again, I've never met Lebby, but I'm excited for this opportunity for him. And this is a great opportunity at the University of Oklahoma, a place where he loves. Mississippi's a little bit different than Texas and Oklahoma. He's going back to the Great Plains, kind of where he grew up, very similar to where he grew up. And again, he gets his own offense. You have Brent Venables, who crushed his press conference. Oklahoma football is in a great spot. This is the home run of home run hires. I've been a fan of Jeff Lebby's for years. This is unbelievable for Oklahoma football. This is a beautiful, beautiful day, an A-plus hire. I'm sure that's popular opinion, but I agree with it. Jeff Lebby, Oklahoma Sooners, Boomer Sooner. This is going to be a great, great offense in Norman. All right, Jeff Lebby, best of luck. Take off. Run with this offense.